Hey, Nay.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Ah, hello.
Brandy glasses off. I won't be able to see Jack.
It was a glare on me.
Was it? It's not so much a glare, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. So, hi, beautiful. Are you my cousin too? What side? Huh?
I'm on her dad's side. Yes, Shanae's father and my mother are sister and brother.
So, is that the Harvin side, Shanae?
No, that's the other side.
Other side? Oh, okay.
That's the Robinson side.
Okay. We can be cousins through her, though.
Yes. Okay. So let's see, where are we at?
We're on.
Are we? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining Cousin Chat tonight. We got trio cousins, tree cousins.
Yes, indeed.
So only 6 degrees of separation, first, second, third, I don't know. But thank you for joining us tonight. And as always, we look forward to seeing you all each and every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And trying to bring you things that are going to help you in life with your family, friends, your business, and everything. And so we've been working on the motto of don't get ready, be ready. And so right now we're going through something that we just weren't ready for. We were not ready for this nationwide pandemic, right?
At all. This is like the new norm, and it's unbelievable. It's
exactly. But we're dealing with our new normal, and tonight we're going to deal with some of those things. So the first thing we want to do is just greet everybody and say hi and all of that. Welcome everybody again. And we're going to share a few. So you'll see me moving around from screen to screen. You may see Shanae doing the same thing. And you may see our guest, LaTonya, doing the same thing. So just bear with us. We're here with you. And we're going to get this started. So first off, Shanae, do you have any greetings you'd like to?
I do. I want to say hi to Miss Ruth Frazier, to our neighborhood friend, LaTonya, and our neighborhood friend, Vonzella. I saw that she jumped on. I want to say hi to my good girlfriend, Shay Smith, to Carlton Prophet, to Ashley Totley, and to Rhonda Jones, Rhonda Frazier, and to Doreen Mitchell. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining, and everybody else that's joining in.
Yes. And we like to say each one reach one, right? There's certain things that we can't do and can't say, but we can say each one reach one, right? So we want everybody to tune in and be a part of this and to be able to get knowledge and grow mentally, spiritually with our family and friends and so forth. So right now, I'll be pulling mines up. Shanae, could you go ahead and introduce our guest tonight? Major.
Yes. It is truly my pleasure to introduce to you someone that I have a big heart of love for, a big bucket of love. I just love her to death. You would think that, we are sisters. We were going to run away to Oklahoma together. We grew up together. We had our kids together. Like our first child are basically the same age. Our last children are the same age. I love her to death. I've known her all my life. And I've loved to see the woman that she has actually grown into. She has overcome a lot, and she has done it with strength, courage, stability, and spiritually. We go to each other for comfort. And, I just, want to say that I'm so proud of her, all that she has accomplished, all that she has yet to accomplish. And if it's one person that believes in manifestation and she actually manifests what she puts out in the world, is this person right here. So whatever she says she's going to do, whatever she says is going to happen in her life, it definitely does. And she has definitely been a big role model for me. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Mrs. LaTonya Tabron of LaTonya Tabron Consulting.
You're about to make me cry, y'all.
No, don't cry. We can't cry over here. No, you're too pretty to be crying. But I want to back up to one thing, Oklahoma.
Yeah, when we were young, we just wanted to go someplace where nobody knew us. So we always said we were going to go to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Why? We didn't know. It just sounded good or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. So whenever like our parents got on our nerves, we were like, "You ready? We're going to Oklahoma."
Look, I used to live in Nebraska, and people like, Nebraska?
Right.
But it's really like, it was cool, and they are all about the corn huskers, right? There are just so many things that were different here, and the things that were equivalent to our city, which they had Carter Lake, we have Haynes Point. So it was so different, but same thing. I was out there wishing everybody knew my name.
Right.
I was definitely wishing that. So thank you for joining us. This is my first time meeting LaTonya, but I am so happy we have had a chance to talk to each other. And I so welcome you. And, we're thankful that you were able to join us this evening. So thank you.
For having me. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Good. So one of the things that, I wanted to talk about, because now, with COVID-19, the new pandemic, so many things have changed. We didn't have a chance to get ready for this. In fact, I'm going back looking at stuff saying, what? It was here during the Super Bowl? Where was I?
Yeah.
But I think that myself and Shanae, and maybe even your schedule, we never even probably recognize this because we're always out taking care of other people and things like that. So when it came up, it was like, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And when school shut down, as soon as I heard it hit a county that was not far from me, I took my son out of school then, right? Oh. And Governor Hogan, I think that he's been doing a great job with keeping us abreast as much as possible, and with keeping his shutdowns and everything. So I think I've developed even more of a respect for him during this time. But during this national outbreak and it being really stressful, it's caused fear and worry in parents, workers around the world, and children as well. And it's caused us to change our eating and sleeping habits, some other chronic and mental health issues, as well as I think it was increase in alcohol and domestic violence and things like that. So what I wanted to be able to talk to you about, is how do we get through such a thing right now? What is happening with our families? And so you can just, start out, and I'll ask you a couple of questions if you don't mind, because things may just come up. People may even pop on to ask a couple of questions. But, during this national crisis, what do we do?
Right. I mean, like you said, Shanae, this is something that caught us completely off guard. We weren't prepared for it. Obviously, something that we've never gone through anything like it before in life. I mean, I know I look around sometimes and I'm like, wow, like, how did we get here? Like, is this really happening? It seems so surreal, but I'm like, is that life, how life is though? It like sends you things that kind of knocks you off your feet, and you really aren't ever prepared completely for the storms of life. That's why we have to always have some toolkits kind of in our pocket. We always have to have some tools in our pocket to kind of deal with difficult situations as they come up. And obviously, this is one of the most difficult that we've ever had to deal with in our lifetime. So some of the things that I wanted to share are just some tools I know that have helped me, not only during this time, but as Shanae said, I've been through a lot of difficult times and different things in my lifetime. So it's tools that have helped me through those times. And because I know them to be true and sure that they've helped me through those times, it's almost like, okay, so God, you brought me through this, so I know you can bring me through this. Or these tools that I've used before, they help me get through this right here. So I know that if I implement them and if I be strategic and intentional about what I'm doing and what I'm thinking and what I'm believing and what I'm speaking, I know that I can get through this as well, just like you helped me to get through the things before. So, and one of the things, of course, I'm a strong believer in how we think. not only how we think, but how we speak. And in these difficult times, I know the one thing, like you said, stress and anxiety are at an all-time high. You know, even for me, like I know this time has tested even those of us who think that we know how to deal with stress, you know,
Right.
felt like we've already overcome so much, who think we kind of got things under control, but it's even been hard for, I would say, quote unquote, the best of us, you know? So I've had to even take those tools out of my own pocket and say, wow, LaToya, because it really, like it rocked us and it's continuing to rock us. So I had to say, okay, how did I get through this other difficult time in my life? And one of the things, I'm going to share 3 tools. And the first one is to master our mind.
I'm writing
Because
this down because I need it.
yeah, I mean, it is so important to master. I say master your mind or train your brain, one or the other, because your mind has a way of getting away from you. I know mine does, right? Like your thoughts and your mind has a way of just completely taking over your life, and your thoughts can just be way over here. I know sometimes I'm like, how did I get from this thought all the way over there to that thought? And that's because if we don't be intentional and become intentional about training our brains and training ourselves how to think and what to think, particularly in moments like this, then we will become overcome. You know, there's a thing like if your enemy, if your opponent, if he can get into your head, then you're dead. So you're already defeated. If your opponent that you're up against, so right now we're up against coronavirus, and we're up against economic hardship, and we're up against, you know, having to teach our children at home, and uncertainty and fear and anxiety. If those things can get into our head and take over our thoughts, then we're already defeated. Yeah. So how then do we stop that? How do we prevent our thoughts from just being out of control? And that is becoming intentional and mastering our mind. So because what happens is when fear comes in, it cripples us. So it has this thing where fear and anxiety, I know for me, sometimes I want to just stay in the bed, to be honest, and just pull the covers over my head and just pretend that it's just not happening, right? Like I'm going to wake up.
I did that like the first, Shanae, didn't I tell you a couple of days? It was just like, that's what I did. I went to bed late. I'm trying to figure out my schedule and how I'm going to do this. And I just stayed in the bed some days until about 10, 11 o'clock. And I was like, I got to get up and keep it moving.
Yeah. And then sometimes we got to just lay there and allow ourselves to feel that. I mean, seriously, right. You know, there's a balance, because sometimes we just got to lay there and say, you know what, this is where I am today. I know I can't stay here, and I know I'm not allowed to park here, but I can just sit here for a minute and just gather myself and gather my thoughts and allow myself to rest for a minute. So sometimes, you know, that's okay, as long as we'll stay you know? Right. Yeah, but I felt that. I have felt that like many days I get up and I say, you know what, I just want to pull the covers over my head and pretend like this not happening, you know, like la 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 la, this is not happening, you know, bury your head in the sand. But that's the kind of time that we're living in. So we have to, like, when those there's the Bible verse that I like about taking our thoughts captive, right? So when those thoughts that can make us go in a whole different direction, when they come, we have to immediately kind of take them captive and immediately kind of cast them down. So those are those thoughts that may try to creep in with the fear, or those thoughts that say, man, we're not going to ever get out of this, or, you know, those thoughts that may say, wow, I'm going to get sick, or those thoughts of I'm not going to be able to make it, or how am I going to provide for my family, or all of those thoughts that don't lead to a fruitful place. When they start to come up, we have to begin to kind of take those captive, you know, and then we can't just take them captive. We have to replace them then with a different thought, right? Mm-hmm. So we have, because like there's a saying that says the devil mind is an idle, the idle mind is the devil's workshop, right? And idle mind is the devil's workshop. So we can't just take the thought captive. We have to then replace it with a different thought. So when the thought may come in and says, you know what, I don't know how I'm going to provide for my family, then we have to still, oh, no, you know, I'm always provided for. My family has more than enough. You know, there is more than enough for us. We're going to make it through this. When those thoughts come that says, wow, you know, these kids are never going to go back to school. You know, we cannot allow those thoughts to take root in our minds and in our hearts, because when they start to take root, what happens when something takes root? We water it and then it grows, right? And then it starts to grow, and then like wildflowers, it grows out of control to the point where it's even harder to harness it. It's even harder to kind of control it. So that's why it's important to control it as soon as it comes.
Right.
So that would be my first takeaway, would be to master our minds, train your brain to think about something different. You know, what is it that you love? You know, think about that thing. You know, what's the opposite of the fearful thought? So find the opposite of that thought that's bringing you anxiety or that's bringing you fear, and think about that, dwell on that, and then the other thought will flee. It will go away.
Okay. And so in that taking care of our thoughts, right? How can we also take care of ourselves, family, and our community as we go through this? Because the tensions are high. We're in the house together. We're not getting space. My house never felt smaller. You know, there's not enough rooms in this place, right? And so we find sometimes that, you know, you don't have that place to go and just scream and be afraid for your moment of self, right? And I know we have faith over fear. I know God has not given us the spirit of fear. And you know, and they say if you go to pray about it, don't worry about it. If you're going to worry about it, don't pray about it. But again, this is what we're faced with.
Yeah,
and it sounds good, and we're trying to do it, right? We want to do it.
Practically do it. Yeah, it sounds good, right? It's like, oh, we got faith over fear. Oh, God didn't give us a spirit of fear. Okay, that's great, and that's true, and it sounds good. But how do I practically apply that to my life right now in the middle of this crisis? You know,
with my family in the middle of homeschooling. I love teachers right now, extra. They're not getting paid enough. You know, I miss my church family. You know. Some of the things. So, you know, how can we take care of those other things that are surrounding us in life?
Right. I would say the first thing is you got to take care of you, because if we don't, then we can't take care of everyone else. And one of my favorite places, seriously, is the bathtub, because nobody can bother me in there. And I feel like the water, when it's so warm and then it's just surrounding me, it's just so peaceful. So personally, that's my peaceful place. So when I go in the bathroom, I shut the door, I'll light some candles, I'll draw me a nice big bubble bath, you know, have some nice calming music on, you know, and that's my time to take care of me and my time to de-stress. And I'm just laying there and really either thinking about nothing or listening to something that's going to fill and feed my spirit, something that's going to lift me up, either going to calm me or that's going to lift me up. And even sometimes just taking a few minutes, it is so powerful to even just take a few minutes, go into a room by yourself, sit, take some deep breaths, and then start to either read or recite some things to yourself, some positive affirmations, or listen to a podcast that's a positive, you know, encouraging, uplifting podcast. Or I have like a playlist called encouragement and a playlist called empowerment. So whenever I need one or the other, then that's what I turn on, you know. And usually before I even go and speak to somebody, I'm listening to my empowerment playlist so I can get it in my spirit. So I would say have inside of your toolbox, you know, those things that you need to be able to take care of you, whether it's those go-to podcasts, you know, those go-to YouTube videos or people that you can listen to that's going to feed your spirit so that you can then go out and feed your family, you know, so that you can go out and support your children and encourage your children and be there for your spouse if you have one, or whatever you need to do. Like me, I'm working all day long. So in order to be able to work all day long and then help my son with school in the 8th grade and, you know, and take care of my husband and all the other things that I have to do, you know, I have to be able to draw from some place, because we cannot pour from an empty vessel, right? So we have to fill ourselves up first so that our vessel can be full so that we can pour out to others as well.
Right. Okay. And I think that the other thing is, a lot of people, you see the images, and I've had moments that I've cried, right? You see the images of people touching their loved ones through windows that are in nursing homes and hospitals. It directly impacted me with a friend of mine, her mom being in a hospital and she can't go and being transported to another place. And, you know, you're just waiting to hear what's happening with your loved ones. But being an essential employee, we are considered like a bank. And so I'm still essential, but there's people that are even more essential than me because I can work from home. But our frontliners in the grocery stores, our people that are still delivering packages for us, the police officers, healthcare providers. I worked in the ER for 13 years or so, or in different realms. But when you see that and the impact that it has, I remember when my first patient in the ER passed away and how I felt. And, seeing children hurt. But this, it kind of reminds me of back in the 80s during the era of when crack came on the scene, and there were so many people that were dying from this. And it was just one of those things, as I can remember, it was so stressful in the evenings to go home. All I could just do, it gave me a different appreciation of life, right? And I think that our healthcare workers, our frontliners are going to have some type of counseling possibly after this, because this is a lot. People are having to deal with whether they're going to stay at work or be with their family. Am I going to quarantine outside of my home, stay at home? And when you're a frontliner, you may get stuck at work. So some of these people have had to work for 28-hour shifts, stay at the hospitals, makeshift places. Any advice for them?
Yeah, I mean, that is just hard. It is just hard. I don't even know, Yeah, because that is so hard. Like you said, a lot of them, when this is all over, a lot of us, a lot of people are going to need counseling. This is traumatic. I can't even imagine being on the front line like that. I mean, like you said, I can work from home. I work from home all day long. So I cannot even fathom, the trauma that they have to experience on a day-to-day basis all day long, and then have to come home and care for your family as well. It is unfathomable to me. I have no words. I don't know how they handle that. I don't know, other than to pray, other than to pray their strength. I know that when this is over, like you said, a lot of people are going to need some counseling.
Yeah. And I think that they could reach out to their community resources, maybe even employee assistance programs. But, find someone that they can talk to. I find that the word post-traumatic syndrome is something that you hear a lot in military right now, but we're going to be all facing some post-traumatic syndrome,
Absolutely.
Funerals aren't even the same anymore. Homegoing services, they aren't even the same anymore. So I think that we're going to all have to do that. But, we encourage people to reach out, have somebody to talk to, whether it's a professional, someone in your church, or, someone that can really be there for you during this time. And then when we come out of this quarantine, right, I've seen memes and things where people are talking about what they're going to do next. When I think about the first thing I'm going to do, I think, one, I'm going to be thankful. I'm truly going to be thankful. I don't think life will ever be the same.
Right.
But the other thing is that I'm going to stock up on toilet paper. Stock up on some toilet paper and things like that. But this has been something that's really serious. And so we look at our spending, we look at our finances and things that we've been doing. So that's why I was like, you know what? We need to really talk about not just financial health, but mental health and all of those things. Because, in certain communities, we just don't reach out for this type of thing.
We don't. And so I would say along those lines, Shimei, that it's important for us to reach out to them, send someone a text message and let them know you're thinking about them. That will make somebody's day. Even just call somebody and say, you know what, I just thought about you. I just wanted to say hello, because a lot of people are experiencing so many different levels of trauma right now. Our healthcare workers, in addition to, everyone else on the front line and us at home, like so many people are going through so much right now that it is so important to, like you said earlier, each one teach one, or each one reach out to one. So it's up to us to reach out to one another and bear each other's burdens, even just for a little bit, as much as we can, just to say, you know what, I'm thinking about you, or I'm praying for you. That goes a long way for someone's mental sanity and for what someone may be going through. And it'll also help you too, because I find that when you lift someone else else up, you inevitably lift yourself up at the same time.
Okay. So do you offer counseling?
Not counseling. I'm not a professional counselor, but what I do offer consulting and coaching, and I'm definitely available to help share my experiences and what I know and my knowledge and how to get through difficult times.
Okay. And how can they reach you?
They can reach me at on any social media at LaToya Tabron, and also info@latoyatabron.com is my email address, and the website is latoyatabron.com.
Okay. And you'll be able to see that information on our pages as well, on Shanae's and mine's as well. It's even posted here tonight. You see it now being presented to you. Please get that information. If you don't get a chance to get it right now, call either one of us and we'll be happy to share it with you. We thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And, we hope to be able to speak with you again. This has been a great help.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, Nay, that was like so perfect for us. We really needed that. I needed that. I feel better just having that moment with her and being able to share that. And I'm glad we're able to share it with our sphere, because we really do care about them. And so we've been talking about them getting prepared financially, getting their credit ready, things like that. And during this time where things are really changing, even when it comes to credit, and what they're getting approved for now, and ratings, the credit rating requirements to purchase a home and things like that have went up 640. It was something just to get somebody to a 600 or a 620, and now it's going up, and some even higher than that. And we want to be able to help them. So for me, this is a great time. I sat down the other day and I went through some mail that I just hadn't been going through, right? And I just decided to open it all up. Let me go ahead and face the noise. What do I have to do? I also sent an email out in regards to people making sure of what your mortgage company or your rental management company is requiring of you. Mm-hmm. And if you are renting a private home with somebody, please talk to them. See what they have to offer you, because they have to pay the mortgage also. Don't just sit back during this time with a closed mouth, putting your head in the sand. We still have to keep getting ready and being prepared, right? And so, Shanae, I know that you've been doing a lot. You've been offering a lot of services virtually. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's definitely what I've been doing. Virtual seems to be our new normal. And so I am still able to reach the masses by doing it virtually. I am definitely available. I'm hosting a webinar series for folks to teach them about credit repair, how it affects them, how it can help them. My next upcoming webinar is actually going to be this coming Sunday, May the 3rd. Wow, I can't believe it's already May. I mean, like half the year is it's done basically. Like, we need to get ready for 2021 and be ready. So, you need to do what you need to do now to be ready for next year, when this quote unquote pandemic will definitely, hopefully be over. But May the 3rd, that's coming up, I have my second webinar in my 3 webinar series. And it's entitled 20 Things You Are Doing to Ruin Your Credit, because a lot of us don't know what we don't know. And so that's why I wanted to do the virtual webinars, to teach people what they think they know and actually correct what they don't know. And so, or what they think they know. And so here, believe it or not, sometimes we as an average consumer are actually doing more harm to ourselves than we are actually helping ourselves, thinking that, I'm going to pay this collection, or I'm going to close this account, and that's going to help to raise my score. When in all actuality, you may actually be hurting yourself more than you're actually helping yourself. So my next upcoming webinar is Sunday, May the 3rd at 8:00. And I'm going to post the link where so you can register. It includes a workbook and an interactive ebook. So this is going to be a working session where I'm going to go through and I'm going to tackle the 20 things that people are doing to ruin their credit, teach them how we can correct it, and give them actionable steps so that they can raise their credit score. Although the requirement for purchasing a home has went up drastically,
Mm-hmm.
anybody in my program, my goal for them is excellent credit. It's 750 and above. So we don't just stop at you being qualified to purchase a home. My goal is whereas though you're able to do whatever it is you want to do. So you can do what you need to do, but also what you want to do. So anyone that's in my program, I help them to achieve excellent credit so that they can purchase that house and still be able to do other things.
Right. And I had a question today. Someone called me and they asked me, they said, do you work with Challenge Credit? Of course I do. We have a team of people that are here to help you. And that's our goal, is to help you. And so please do not hesitate to reach out to us. As always, our information, you can find it on the page. You can get it here in the evenings when we meet, or you can call us at any time. So, Shanae, give your information real quick, and then I'm going to dive into a couple of things.
Yep, my information, you can reach me at 443-973-7555. And my email address is info@professionalcreditdiva.com. And my website is www.theprofessionalcreditdiva.com. I am available for consultations as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. So before we close out, I just want to talk to you about a few different things that I have going on. I am still offering virtual appointments. I am still closing deals on wheels. I basically say we are doing virtual closings, virtual showings, but we want to make sure that our buyers and sellers are committed to the process. And in being committed to the process, that's obtaining your approval, getting qualified, doing the things that you need to do, whether it is preparing for the credit or not. We want you to know that we are there for you. We are abiding by the rules of the governor, the laws of the governor. We're abiding by CDC standards, and we're offering virtual appointments. You can get qualified virtually and everything. Everything is secured, and you can reach me. You should see my information there on the screen now. Please do not hesitate to call. The appointments line is available. You can send me an email or you can call me directly. We also have the online magazine. I have not been sending out any mail directly to anyone at this time because I don't want you to have to worry about the transmission of anything through the mail. So again, you can reach me by phone, email, or website. And you don't have to worry about that. You can just reach out to us and we'll send you the magazine that you see there on your screen. You can subscribe to it. A lot of articles and information that are available to you and your family to even help you during this time. It's from recipes to fun activities with the kids. You will enjoy this magazine, okay? So that's my Lifestyles magazine, American Lifestyles magazine. And all you have to do is contact us to be a part of that. But more than anything, we had a few messages come out this week. It was so odd to me because the first one I saw was there was an increase in phone calls to the CDC, or not to CDC, but to poison control, right? Mm-hmm. Because people are using household cleaners more than ever before, right? It's been rainy. It's pollen seasoning. I know for me, I mop my floors twice a day. I'm spraying and wiping down things, right? So if you have issues with previously you've had pneumonia, you've had bronchitis, asthma, some of these things can be really taxing on the lungs. And not only that, but it's toxic. It's a chemical.
Right.
So during this time of having a backup plan and being ready, I have started my own online store.
Okay.
There are products that you cannot get in the grocery stores right now. You cannot get hand sanitizer. People are having to make it themselves, but then you got to have the products to be able to make it yourself.
Right.
Using bleach. I was using bleach at one time, and I think I have mentioned, I worked in healthcare for years, and I even used to come home and clean with bleach. I had a kennel before. I used to breed dogs, so I used to clean with bleach, and it actually burned the senses in my nose where I couldn't smell things anymore. So these things yes, it's serious. So I know the effects, right? So I started this online shopping club where I offer home products where you can disinfect your home without taxing your lungs with toxic chemicals. The products are so good, they come without a child safety seal.
Okay.
So if people would like to know more information about that, you can reach out to me at 202-709-7989. And I'd love to be able to share these products with you, from hand sanitizer to things to be able to clean your home. It's all available for you, and it's delivered right to your door. You don't have to go to the grocery store for it. You don't have to have a mask for it. Now, when my box comes into my door within 3 to 4 days, I still spray my box.
Right.
But you can order it. You don't have to worry about them saying that they don't have it. It's right there available to you. And guess what? It's made here in the USA. It's not something that was made overseas and then sent here. It's made right here in the US. So, and it can be shipped directly to your door. So at any time that you want to know more about that information, please, I've been posting it on my page. You can know more by just reaching out and calling me, okay? So I'm your virtual assistant. I'm your, I'm your every woman right now.
I was getting ready to say you're every woman. And speaking of, being made in the USA, all good things are made in the USA. And one of the greatest things that was actually made in the USA 4 years ago today was my grandson, Sincere. So I would like to say happy birthday, Sincere. Mama, I love you.
Happy birthday.
I just actually left his quarantine party. So we had a few family members over and everything, and he was excited. So he got his PS4. He got his cell phone so he can leave my minds alone. He can play his games and everything. And he got all things Paw Patrol and Mighty Pup. So like I said, all good things are made in the USA.
That's
and
right.
I just wanted to formally, again, publicly also wish my baby Sincere a happy 4th birthday.
Happy birthday, Sincere. Sincerely, Cousin Shemay.
Exactly.
So real quick before we go, let's just take a moment of prayer, okay?
Yeah.
Lord Jesus, your message was passed along to the Gentiles as well as the Jews. You wanted all of us to know of the great gift of eternal life. Help us to live our lives to share the joy, the promises that have been brought to us by you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So until next time, you guys, we love you. We want to see you again. Tell us if you have anything you'd like to see, and take care and stay safe.
Bye-bye.